Some of my friends know there's a little story about that. My brother's a meth addict, but he's not picky. So if there's no meth around, he adapts. We're in a very adapting family, so he'd find something else. But he actually he's read these poems, and my parents keep journals. It's, if something comes out in a journal and I give it to my parents, and I'm selective with what I send them, but I'll send them something and my dad will carry it around, and the dashboard of his old truck, it'll be in there, or it's all bent in his back pocket, and they carry it around. But one day my brother, I was there, and I hadn't quite moved back yet, but I was there, and my brother was, it made me feel sick inside, but he was real proud of, he brought some guy, Ed Lott, I'm going to say, Ed Lott, that the name says it all. He brought this guy with him who's another, just lifetime drug user. I think he's about 30 years older than my brother, so that gives you any indication. My brother's 40, so that's how we do it in Needles. They don't give up too easily. They're in it to win it. So he brings this older, drug user in with him. But my brother he's like, hey, I was telling Ed, yeah, you're a writer. Let's show him your stuff. Show him your, where are the journals? Because my mom keeps them in a little hut. Show him your stuff. And I didn't really know what to do because, they're all about him and, these particular journals. But he took them and showed them, and it's like, he's just so gone sometimes that nothing even registered to them, but they really sat there like they were reading it, and, it didn't really register with them. But a funnier one was he had read this early on, and he read it, and I think he was probably on like a sober day, but for about 2 weeks after he read that poem, every time he saw me, he just would look at me and say, peacock shit, huh? And he just, peacock shit. And so he called me peacock shit for about 2 weeks. That's all he would say. He didn't say anything else. So, there's always a bright side to things, I guess. I'll read a couple more that have to do with this. And I think I know I have some people who've actually been real helpful with me in talking about having, family members who go through things. We always have a jacked up uncle or brother, and so, I think it's something that a lot of people go through and deal with, and now meth is like the huge thing. It's, it's everywhere. It's not just in my little town. It reminds me, I guess, kind of the prologue to this hard times when we're not really we don't expect some of this to solve anything. And I don't write to solve anything. I'm writing because I don't get it. I don't understand it. So I'm not getting emotional. I think I've had too much medicine. So I think this is like Tylenol PM running out of my eyes here. How to go to dinner with a brother on drugs. If he's wearing knives for eyes, if he is dressed for a Day of the Dead parade, 3-piece skeleton suit, cummerbund of ribs. His pelvic girdle will look like a Halloween mask, one shoulder blade a failed wing, the other a silver shovel. The bones, he'll say, make him itch, each ulna a tickle. His mandible might tingle. He won't stop scratching, so suggest that he change, but not because he itches. Do it for the scratching. Do it for the bones. Okay, he'll give in. I'll change. He'll go upstairs and come back down, this time dressed as a Judas effigy. I know, he'll joke. It's not Easter, so what? And you should not coddle him. You should tell him, Judas had a rope around his neck. When he asks if an old lamp cord will do, just shrug. Then he'll go back upstairs, and you'll be there close enough to the door to leave. But don't. Instead, consider your brother as a Judas effigy. A single match could devour him like a neon tooth, canopying him in a bright tint of pain. He'll come back down. The lamp cord knotted at his neck should do the trick. So go to the restaurant. He'll still itch when you get there. He will even rake his fork against his skin. Move your fork and knife closer to you. He'll lick his lips at the waitress. He'll say that he can taste her. Hopefully, she'll ignore him. You better pretend not to hear what he says. Also, ignore the cock crowing inside him. But if he notices that you notice, don't worry, he'll assure you. The dogs will get it. At that point, the reflection in your empty plate will speak. Your brother is on drugs again, and you are at a dinner that neither of you can eat. Consider your brother. He is dressed as a Judas effigy. The waitress will take your order. He wants a beer. And you will pour your 30 pieces of silver onto the table and ask, "What can I get for this?" Soirée fantastique. Houdini arrived first with Antigone on his arm. Someone should have told her it was rude to chase my brother in circles with such a shiny shovel. She only said, "I'm building the man a funeral." But last I measured, my brother was still a boy. The doorbell chimes and chimes. Other guests come in and out, snorting, mouths lathered, eyes spinning like spirogyros. They are starving, bobbing their big heads, ready for a party. They keep saying it too. "Man, we're ready for a party." In their glorious twirl and dervish, none of them notice there is no dinner party. This is a jalopy carousel, and we are dizzy. We are here to eat the horses. There are violins playing. The violins are on fire. They are passed around until we're all smoking. Jesus coughs, climbs down from the cross of railroad ties above the table. He's a regular at these carry-on revelries, and it's annoying how he turns the bread to fish, especially when we have sandwiches. I've never had the guts to ask Jesus why. Old Houdini can't get over 'em, the holes in each of Jesus's hands. He's smitten and drops first a butter knife, then a candelabra through the gaping in the right hand. He holds Jesus' left palm up to his face, wriggles his tongue through the opening, then spits, says, "This tastes like love." He laughs hysterically. "Admit it, Chewy, between you and me, someone else is coming." Antigone is back, this time with the green-handled garden spade. "Where is your brother?" she demands. She doesn't realize this is not my brother's feast. He simply set the table. Poor Antigone. "Bury the horses instead," I tell her. "What will we eat then?" she weeps, not knowing weeping isn't what it used to be. Not here. Poor, poor Antigone. I look around for Houdini to get her out of here, but he's escaped. In the corner, Jesus covers his face with his hands, each hole an oubliette. I see right through them. None of us belong here. I'm the only one left to say it. I ease the spade from her hand. I explain. We aren't here to eat. We are being eaten. Come, pretty girl. Let us devour our lives.